Welcome back, everyone. Great to be on here on this live on Super Bowl Sunday. It is Sunday afternoon. Welcome, welcome. Hope you guys are doing well. And of course, we have to ask, who do you think is going to win the Super Bowl? We will get that out of the way. Eagles or Chiefs? Definitely let me know down below in the comment section just to have a little fun here. Now, we do have to talk about something that's been really circling in the news for especially the last year or so, and it's really been taking a look at in strong consideration more than ever before, I believe, especially with modern medicine and the advancements in technology and people naturally living longer as the years do go on. And that's the fact. I mean, people are living longer. Granted, those numbers are skewed, depending on certain factors, such as perhaps drugs and suicide rates, things of that nature. But in total, on average, people are living longer, and that's why this is definitely being taken a look at and by many politicians, and will probably go into effect at least in the next probably 5-10 years when you look at it. So we're going to be talking about the fact that Social Security, the retirement age, will probably get raised, but there might be an argument why it may not get raised. So we'll take a look at it and see all the news that we know as of today. Before we do begin, make sure you guys go ahead and give this video a tremendous thumbs up, smash the like button. I would appreciate that. And let us know where you're tuning in from, city, state, location. Let us know down below in the comment section or in the live chat if you're watching live. And make sure you are subscribed and have notifications turned on, so important. That bell will notify you every time we do post a brand new video. And folks, the next cash giveaway will be at 30,000 subscribers, so do stay tuned for that. I think we could get there pretty soon. So let's take a look at what we know so far. Politicians, right, on both sides of the aisle have now promised to not cut Social Security and Medicare at this week's State of the Union address. So Republicans have caved in, and they did see the massive reaction that they caused when they said that they would cut Medicare and Social Security as part of the new budget in regards to the debt ceiling. And so most Republicans now are giving in and saying that they will not be touching Social Security or Medicare. Who knows what will actually happen and what they'll finally do? Will their actions match their words? Who knows? But for the most part, politicians have said that they do not want to cut Social Security. However, when we look at it, Social Security might ultimately be harmed in another way. So more than 1 million people recently actually took into the streets of France to protest an increase in the country's standard retirement age. This is already going on in other parts of the world. And in the US, a similar battle may be quietly brewing in Washington, because the full retirement age for Social Security, that's when workers are eligible for 100% of the benefits that they've earned, is now transitioning to age 67. Eligibility for health care coverage under Medicare currently starts at 65. But yet, as both programs do face funding shortfalls, one Republican proposal has suggested that we should actually push those ages higher. And it's being disguised by the fact that people are living longer, and that's why we should in fact advocate for a higher FRA, or full retirement age. So the Republican Study Committee budget put forward by House leaders has called for Social Security's full retirement age to gradually go up until it is increased by 3 years. And based on their proposal, people born in 1978 or later would have a full retirement age of 70 years old. And the proposed changes will not apply to current Social Security beneficiaries or people ages 55 and older, according to the plan that was proposed last year. Now, the Republicans also propose raising Medicare's eligibility age to coincide with the Social Security FRA, and then indexing that age to life expectancy. So at the State of the Union address this week, President Joe Biden called on Democrats and Republicans to stand to show that Americans, they will not cut Social Security and Medicare. And despite the moment of unanimity, experts say that Republicans' proposal represents cuts. So according to a director of the Center for Retirement Research at Boston College, quote, Social Security is a very simple problem. It's money coming in and money going out in benefits. And there's two ways to fix it. You can have less money go out or more money come in. Importantly, there is no third way, as some have actually suggested of raising the retirement age. Increasing the retirement age is a benefit cut. So while it may not sound like a benefit cut, right, it might almost sound like a positive thing, it will ultimately cut benefits in the long term. And higher retirement age just doesn't work for this economy. So Social Security amendments signed in 1983 ushered in today's phased transition into a full retirement age of 67, and the initial eligibility age for retirement benefits is still at age 62. However, as the full retirement age goes up, those who claim at that earliest age face greater benefit reductions. So the 1983 legislation prompted other notable changes, such as making a portion of benefits subject to income taxes, as well as providing delayed retirement credits of 8% per year for those who wait to claim after FRA goes up to age 70. Now, the 1983 changes came as the program was facing insolvency, and today the program faces a similar dilemma. Just 80% of benefits will be payable from the combined trust funds in 2035 unless changes are made sooner, according to projections from the SSA or Social Security Administration themselves. That has led to suggestions of raising the retirement age again. So we've discussed this. Numerous reports show that the funds for Social Security will ultimately run dry in probably the next decade or so, and that will definitely hurt not just this generation, or rather not just the current beneficiaries, but also future generations to come that are ultimately going to depend on Social Security more and more so. Now, whether or not Social Security will support a full-time income in decades from now, when people in my generation ultimately go ahead and claim retirement, that's another story. But we are looking forward to that Social Security as a generation, and it will come in handy for us for sure. And we have to make sure that we protect it and keep it stable and make sure that it does not go away. Now, from what we understand, raising the retirement age the first time was a big failure, and this is according to a labor economist and professor at the New School. In 1983, the adoption of 401k plans had just started, and there was hope that those accounts could replace defined benefit plans and cover half the workforce not covered by a retirement plan. That experiment was a big failure, and that hope was misplaced. Today, the number of workers who lack access to a work retirement savings plan is still stubbornly high, and unlike 1983, when senior poverty rates were declining, they are now increasing, and they are proposing a 40-year-old plan that doesn't work for this economy. So what you have to understand, guys, is that the cost of living is getting higher and higher, and the COLA benefits are simply not keeping up with the daily costs of living and expenses, whether that's the groceries, whether that's housing, whether that's your gas. It's just not keeping up, and that COLA simply is well behind, and it is not truly adjusted for inflation in regards to what seniors actually have to spend and what their expenditures look like on a daily, weekly, and monthly basis. So the idea of raising that retirement age simply would not work, and nor would some of these other plans that we have heard circling and have been tried before. Now, there's also the myth of working longer. So the expectation 40 years ago was that people could live longer and be healthier, giving them the ability to choose to work longer. Now, certain developments, particularly the elimination of mandatory retirement ages and creation of new anti-age discrimination rules, contributed to that outlook. However, data now shows that not everyone has the privilege of working longer, and college-educated white workers can probably work until they are 70, but other groups do not have that same luxury. Based on data, lower education groups and racial minorities just do not have that many healthy years of life expectancy that they could do it. So it's really discriminatory from that perspective. And raising the retirement age again may only exacerbate those differences, and that's about as far as you can go. Retirement age that's getting phased in now, as far as the age of 67, that's really pushing it in and of itself. And so if we were to raise it again and again, maybe 3 more years to 70, things could really take a turn for the worse. And there's another reason why raising the retirement age again would not work. Living longer and being able to work longer are not the same things. Evidence shows that an increasing retirement age has not necessarily changed when people claim Social Security benefits. So most people who claim Social Security early are actually still in the labor market, but they're claiming Social Security early at a really low rate in order to supplement low wages. And this becomes a problem when they are no longer working and their benefit check is not enough to cover their needs. And that may explain a reason why elderly poverty rates are up, because most people depend on Social Security for most of their retirement income. So this is not a easy, surface level issue. This is very multifaceted, and there's many variables at play here. And there's so many factors that go into why we should raise the retirement age or why we shouldn't. But overall, if you look at the facts, you look at history, and you look at the statistics that we know of, we look at the economy, we look at inflation, it would not make sense to raise the retirement age, especially in this economy. So we don't really want to touch that, and we want to ensure that that totally is off the table, and that is not something that Republicans or any politician takes a look at for that matter. But at the same time, obviously Republicans are being fiscal, and they have their fiscal responsibilities and duties to their constituents. And so instead of just blatantly saying they're going to slash benefits, they may do that under the guise of perhaps raising the retirement age or some other tactics here. So there's different ways that politicians can move that you may not know what they're exactly doing behind closed doors. And it may look like one thing, but they're actually doing it for another reason, and maybe promising that they want to help you, but may actually hurt you in the long run. So just obviously take everything with a grain of salt and understand that, there are certainly many proponents for cutting Social Security one way or another. And we're probably going to end up seeing it over the next 5-10 years. We're probably going to see some piece of legislation go into effect here that will ultimately affect Social Security. So what are your thoughts on this, guys? Do you think we should raise the FRA, the full retirement age? Do you think it should stay the same? Do you think it should actually be lowered? Do you think it makes sense to raise it, given people are working longer and people are living longer? What do you guys think about all this? What do you think about this debacle? Let me know down below in the comment section. Do you have a solution? Do you have any ideas that you would want to see implemented? Definitely let us know down below in the comments or the live chat if you're watching live right now. But with that being said, folks, I do hope you enjoyed this video. Make sure you get the word out, spread it on social media, share with a friend. And who do you think is going to win the Super Bowl? Let me know one more time if you haven't already. I hope you enjoy the rest of your weekend. Give this video a big thumbs up, smash the like button, make sure you are subscribed with notifications turned on. And if you guys want to get some free stocks, all on me, all free, use the brokerage links down below in the description. Sign up with the brokerage platforms, Robinhood and or Webull. You'll get some free stocks, all on me, all free, all for just for supporting the channel. And if you want to connect with me on social media, I am on Instagram, on Facebook, I am on TikTok. Use the social links down below. I look forward to connecting with you there, and I look forward to seeing you guys in the next one. Thank you so much. Take care for now.